Russia is once again being called out for stirring all sorts of trouble overseas, for undermining democracy and flouting international laws. This week, the UK Intelligence and Security Committee released a report which suggested Russians may have meddled in the Brexit and Scottish independence referenda. And multiple nations denounced President Vladimir Putin's visit to Crimea on Monday, a province it illegally annexed from Ukraine. President Putin is regularly accused of carrying out all sorts of dastardly deeds abroad, from siding with dictators to influencing elections. While some accusations have been either overblown or debunked, there are legitimate concerns around many of its actions in foreign nations. So, what exactly is Russia doing abroad, and why should we care? Is it trying to sow chaos throughout the Western world? Or is it merely looking to gain more influence, to work with other nations and provide some balance against US world dominance? What is Putin's plan? On land he illegally took, the Russian leader this week opened a warship building base.
The new ships will be equipped with advanced weapons, control and long-distance communication systems.
President Putin's visit to Crimea, a province annexed in 2014, was widely seen as a thumbing of the nose to the international community. Another example of Russian belligerence. Most Western nations, including Australia, claim Russia has been undermining the so-called rules-based order, ignoring international institutions and meddling in other nations. Siding with the Syrian government in its civil war and separatists in Ukraine, and playing a role in the shooting down of MH17, killing 38 Australians and more than 200 others. Russian state actors are also accused of carrying out cyber attacks and trying to influence voters overseas, alleged to have hacked COVID vaccine data and tried to help elect Donald Trump in 2016 by posting memes on Facebook and trolling social media users, while the much-hyped allegations of colluding with a Trump campaign were debunked.
We waited 3 years for what was going to be some kind of bombshell report that would have upended the Trump presidency, and in the end, Mueller, of course, found no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia.
This week, the UK's Intelligence and Security Committee released its own long-withheld Russia report. It suggests Russia may have tried to influence voters in the Brexit referendum, but says there's no evidence nor attempts to find any.
The UK government have actively avoided looking for evidence that Russia interfered.
We do not accept the accusations.
Russia also rejects reports it paid the Taliban bounties on US troops in Afghanistan. The claims were made in the New York Times by unnamed intelligence officials, but not backed up by Pentagon bosses.
That is a unique, discrete piece of information that is not corroborated.
If the allegations about Russia's interference abroad are true, its motivations are unclear, whether it's to boost its influence and its struggling economy or distract from the myriad domestic problems and allow Putin to maintain power.
Russia's foreign policy aims, it's always been intensely interested in having extraordinary influence over the countries that border Russia, but internationally, it really just seeks to have relevance. And I think a lot of its foreign policy aims are probably more defensive than offensive just because of its weaknesses economically.
The Kremlin's often cried hypocrisy, saying the US is guilty of much more overt and deadly foreign interference.
Basically, what they are searching for is stability. Stability, I think, counts for them above all else. What they've seen the US do over the past 20 years is go around the world and foment color revolution and regime change wars. And they've seen the disasters that have ensued because of that.
Russia's ambassador to Australia earlier stated Russia wants to work with the West and believes nations like Russia, India and China should be given a greater role in global decision-making. A 2019 US Defense White Paper suggests Russia will ramp up cyber and political interference campaigns. It also expressed concerns over Russia's warming relations with China. While perhaps not as dangerously precarious, Russia's relations with the West now are similar to the days of the Cold War. With so much distrust, resentment and alleged illegal activities, it would take bold steps on all sides for things to improve.
I don't see that becoming resolved anytime soon. And as long as that is the case, our countries are going to be at loggerheads, and we're going to go deeper and deeper into this new Cold War.